Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. I've really enjoyed the show so far this season. So, but talk to me. Why did you decide to do it? Like, how did that conversation go?
Oh my gosh. So we're going back to Fiji. I was still in Fiji. Just got done doing Love Island the night before. I get asked, hey, would you like to do Traitors in like 20 days for this new show that we're going to do? It's season 2. I'm like, I haven't seen season 1, but I'm definitely interested. I currently don't have a job. So I have no plans right now what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. So I was like, I would gladly take that opportunity. And I'm so glad I did because I had no idea what to expect. Once they told me about it, I was like, I'll consider it. Like, I definitely like doing it right now, unless I go home and watch it. I'm not like a fan of it, but I went home, huge fan of it. I watched the first 5 episodes. Like I'd watch an episode a night. And then I got to episode 5 and then I watched the last 5 episodes in one sitting. Like I was just hooked on it right from the get-go. So I was like, yep, I'm definitely doing it. And I'm so glad I did. It was a terrific experience and I'd do it over and over again.
Do you think that watching it beforehand, do you think that helped prepare you, or was it just more you enjoyed watching it?
No, it definitely prepared me. I was just definitely taking notes, taking strategies. Is like, would it be easier to be a traitor? Would it be easier to be a faithful? Where do I see myself succeeding? And I definitely saw myself succeeding more this time around being a faithful, but I also think I could have succeeded as a traitor because I don't think anybody would have expected Bergie to be a traitor, this good, nice kid being a traitor. So I definitely think I might have struggled with it a little bit, but I think I still could have pulled it off. But being a faithful, I felt like I could prove to myself that I could play these types of games, try to figure it out, being like Sherlock Holmes. Like I've always dreamed of being like this good guy that gets the bad guy. So I was like, let's do it. And I was super excited when I came in. I took notes. I was like, traitors like to be quiet. They're not going to call people out right away. They're going to sit back and just kind of let the chaos happen.
Right. What do you think that maybe you should have done differently to stay longer? Like what was kind of your one mistake looking back that you think you made? Or are you happy with the way you played it? Maybe you don't think that.
Yeah, so I'm actually happy with the way I played it. The best way to play it when I was taking notes too, I was like, be dumb, be faithful to the traitors. Like, don't be faithful to the faithful, be faithful to the traitors. Act like you don't know what's going on. Act like you trust everybody. That way they carry you to the end. And they're like, all right, let's split the plot now. And that's when you have to banish them right at the end. You don't try to banish them before because then everybody knows you're a good traitor hunter. But my problem was I knew that was the best strategy, but I wanted to prove to myself that I could play this game. And playing the game is very dangerous because then you become a threat to the traitors. They're like, oh my gosh, they're going to banish me. I need to kill him before he banishes me because he's a vote against me. So I just knew in my heart, like I would have been so mad if, like, let's say I was still playing this game and I get murdered this next episode, but I didn't do anything the whole time. I didn't call anybody out. I just sat around and I just got murdered one night. I would be so mad at myself for not trying to get the traitors out, if that makes sense. I'd be so upset. I'd be like, I could have got one out. I could have got 2 out, but instead I decided to try to skate by, and then I still got bit in the end anyways.
Do you think your game would have been different if you hadn't followed Peter so closely, like went so much with what he did, since he sort of, I feel like was maybe part of the reason you were, a big part of the reason you were voted out or murdered, not voted out, murdered. Sorry.
Yeah. Being in Peter's clique definitely led to my demise 100%, but I still don't regret it because I was like, let's get the traitors out as quickly as possible. Maybe we can split this prize pot, but it was not happening.
What do you think was the hardest thing for you?
Being in Traitors, definitely the roundtables in the beginning of the game when there's no evidence and you're just going off of people's like, she made this face or he did this. He exited a room and I think it was suspicious. And it's like, is that real evidence that we can use? But then you still have to vote someone out. You can't vote for nobody. And I think that was the toughest thing for me. I was like, I still don't think you're a traitor, but I have to vote for you because otherwise I'm going to single someone out and I could, be eliminated for that. So just early game roundtables were really hard for me.
Were you saying that about watching people and noticing what they do? Were you through a lot of it, like kind of thinking about the way you're looking, the emotions you're giving, what you're saying? Is that something that's constantly on your mind, or were you more just into playing it and not thinking about that?
Yeah, no, I was worried more about my emotions. Like I'm a nervous guy, especially in the beginning. So like being red in the face, I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I'm going to get banished. I was red in the face because I was nervous, and now people are going to banish me because of it, especially early on in the game. But like later in the game, you have people's conversations, you write stuff down. You're like, oh, I remember having this conversation with you and you said this. And that's where I started getting more comfortable with the game. I was like, or like, Dan, you're really quiet. And I think a Traitors perfect game plan would be to be quiet and just skate by to the end. So it was just like that, using that kind of evidence definitely helped me.
Now, I know we won't see the reaction till later on in the season, but how shocked were you when you found out everything, like when they finally revealed it to you after the fact?
The Traitors?
Yeah.
So, you know, Trishelle,
I think you had an idea, but
yeah, still. I was like, so I was expecting Phaedra to be a traitor, and I was expecting, no, I don't want to say like expecting, I was like probably like 60-70% sure Phaedra was a traitor. And then, you know, so just seeing how it all played out, like I wasn't too shocked by it. Actually, you know what shocked me the most? I always thought there was one more traitor, because I thought there was three in the beginning. They recruited one. So I was always trying to figure out who that fourth traitor was. So that was my biggest shock, finding out there was only 3 traitors.
Oh, okay. You know, it's funny watching it after the fact, though, because I feel like you guys are the first group that everything you're like, this person's a traitor, this person's a traitor. Usually people say that and they have no clue, but you guys were actually, this one, we're doing really good compared to the other seasons. So regardless, you guys, you were on the right track. Everybody was doing good. What was your favorite part of the castle?
I'm going to say outside castle grounds. Like,
oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So if you remember the bird mission, I got a map and I got to run around the castle grounds with Trishelle, and I loved the outside of the castle. It was so gorgeous to run. Same with the catapult mission. I hated the catapult mission, like carrying that heavy catapult up the mountain. But just being outside in Scotland in the wilderness was the most fantastic thing, I think, of the castle. I know it's about the castle, but being outside of the castle, seeing the buildings around the castle and just the like monuments and sculptures outside of it was probably my favorite part.
That makes sense. Was there anyone coming into it that you were really excited to get to meet that you hadn't? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you know these people outside of the show. I'm not sure. But was there somebody you were like excited to meet that you got to see?
This is going to sound really stupid, but Peter from The Bachelor. I watched Colton's season of The Bachelor, and then I watched Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette, and then I kind of stopped after that. But Peter was on Hannah Brown's season. So I saw Peter from that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you were on TV. I know you.
You were on TV too. You got to remember.
But it didn't hit me yet.
I know, it doesn't feel like
I just came out of Love Island.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Have you, now that you say that though, have you, since you've left this, have you gotten more of that, people recognizing you now that you've been off the show? Do you get that now a lot, or?
Yeah, I was working yesterday and I had 2 people come up to me while working like the front desk, and they're like, you're Bergie from the Traitors. I just had to come say hi. And then they're taking selfies with me while I'm just working.
that's got to be interesting work.
Yeah.
So back to what I was going to ask you is, who surprised you the most? Like that whether you knew them in real life or you just knew them from TV, who really surprised you that you didn't expect them to be the way they were?
I'm going to say John. You know, that sounds really funny, but like obviously not from a strategy standpoint or anything crazy like that. But I was expecting him to be like this mean politician guy. And he was like the nice, funny. He had like this personality around him, and he was just a wholesome dude. I think that's what surprised me.
Cool. Now, I assume that you're going to be back for the finale thing that they do, the behind the scenes.
The reunion?
Yeah. You're going to be back for that. Very cool. What are you looking forward to, I guess, saying or talking to somebody? Like, what's something that you're thinking about before you go back? Honestly,
there's not much on my head. Obviously I call these people all the time because I have everybody's number and we, talk to each other. And there's not much, like, I don't have any hatred towards anybody. I don't have any bad blood between anybody. I just have happy feelings. Like, that was an awesome experience. I'm just grateful for the overall experience. So I'm just interested to see what happens at the reunion between other people that did not have a grateful experience or they have bad blood between each other.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, if they asked you back, would you do it again? Because I know obviously sometimes they do that, but I think I already know the answer to that. You seem like you had a lot of fun. So
yeah, I would do it every season that they air it. I'd just keep coming back.
you got to go watch the other country ones now. They're good too.
I've seen UK season 1, but UK season 2 hasn't come to Peacock yet.
Yeah, there's Australia and Canada. There's a lot. So go watch it now. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a great day.
Come back. Have a good day. Bye-bye.